Hey guys, I'm finally back for another video. Now, I know that it's been a while, and I'll get into all of that later, along with a lot of other important things that I've been wanting to talk about. But first, I'll be showing you guys some of the work that I've done in the time that I've been absent from YouTube. Also, you can see that this time I'm actually recording all the attributes of my screen, such as part of the Unity editor and my taskbar. First of all, you can see that we have a very simplistic screen with just a few options as to what kind of tune we want to spawn. I'll just pick the male duck option since that's what I was in Toontown Online as well as Toontown Rewritten. So now you can see that we've spawned into the level with our tune of choice, a clean white duck. I do want to spiff up that intro sequence and especially the tune selection screen. Now, just before we start, I'm just going to give you guys a quick guide to the GUI that you're seeing around the screen all here. So, to the far right of the screen and up to the upper right of the screen, you'll see the laugh meter, which tells you how much health you have. And as of yet, there's no way to earn more laugh, although it is a fully functioning laugh meter. Right next to it, a little bit to the left, you'll also see the skill point meter, whose name is self-explanatory. When you reach 50 mini skill points, shown on the top by means of collecting skillets, which you'll see in about a minute once we get to that, you'll go to the next main skill level, which is shown on the bottom. The higher your skill level, the more gags and eventually laugh points that you'll get. You can earn skill points by finding them laying around, probably in COG HQs, defeating COGs, or completing tune tasks, which is something else I want to start working on soon, because what is Toontown without tune tasks? Below all of that is the sticker tablet, which I'm not sure if I'm going to keep. I may replace it with a sticker book. I'll probably put up a poll on my Google Plus to that in the description below, where you can actually also see pictures of all of the different tune species that I have, because I'm not going to show them in this video. You have to go to my Google Plus page for that. So, anyway, to the far left and up, to the upper far left, you'll see the amount of jelly beans that we have, which is the in-game currency. Just below that are the amount of gags you have, and by clicking on them, you can equip them. You'll also see that system in action later. Now that you're somewhat acquainted with the GUI, we can take a look at the rest of the game. Here, we have the Toon Colorizer. This too has some pretty ugly looking GUI, but like I keep saying, it'll improve with time. Now, we can stand under the paint can and it'll change our color according to the color that we pick here. So you see sliders manipulate it and you can see the color of the paint changing here. As you can see, hopefully with a little bit of the Toontown style, I've added like a little bit of like a hand mitt to adjust the paint. I do want to animate it so when you change the paint color, it'll maybe like push the it'll kind of like move around, push forward. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, change our color here. I want to make it as similar to how I looked in Toontown Rewritten. That's about right. We'll change all that. As you can see, there's my clone. Actually, he's not an exact clone. He's slightly darker than I am. Because I actually put him in because he's supposed to be part of the tutorial, which will be coming soon. I'm not going to ramble on about that just yet, but you'll probably see stuff about that maybe in the next video if I feel like implementing it. So, normally it would take us out and teach us how to fly the air balloon in the tutorial and all that, which I was talking about. I'll show you guys about that in the next video. But instead, the door takes us straight to a sort of alpha testing playground where I have all manner of strange and new concepts that I've been working on. So, first of all, here, you'll see that, so now that we're in the playground, you can see two cogs patrolling in the distance, as well as the gag cart over there, manned by the popular Clerk Clara. So, you can see that we've already got a few jelly beans, but it can't hurt to get a few more from over here. I mean, because we couldn't buy an adequate amount of gags with just 10 jelly beans. So let's pick up all those, knock them out. I want to make it a little more eventful when we pick up jelly beans. But anyway, you notice we haven't unlocked these gags here yet, but we do have banana cream pie. For now, I know, it's weird, but the banana cream pie currently looks like a sort of gray slice, which isn't even textured yet. I'm still working on that part, because it's not really important. As you can see here, there's a safe, which is a higher level gag, so we can't pick it up just yet. We're still working on that. Well, I'm still working on it. And we also can't pick up the pies yet, because we're not at an adequate level for that. So, let's maybe buy some gags for Clara at the gag cart. Faife, my sister, made the art for this, so you should definitely go and check out her Google Plus page, which is in the description. She made the models, and she made the art, and I 3D modeled it based off of her art. Without her art, this wouldn't have been possible. So now let's talk to Clara. Now, now that she knows we're buying gags from her, we click on the picture of the banana cream pie, because that's what we want. At least that's what we can get with our current skill level. As you can see, she gives out some dialogue that I wrote. So now we can pick up those two. As you can see, they only subtracted 1 jelly bean each from our jelly bean bank or whatever. But that's not going to be good enough to fight the cogs over there, and since there are no skillets anywhere to improve our skill level to buy better gags, I'm going to cheat. That's right, I'm going to cheat. So I'm going to pause the game, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to manipulate the amount of skill points that we have. You can see I can do this by editing our skill level. See all the scripts that I wrote, and I don't even know if I'm doing it right. But let's see. Change the mini skill. I don't know. What the heck? Go 45 there just to make it seem real, and go 5 there. Basically all it took. And then go in, and you can see that is now our skill level. Of course, that's not actually how you do it in the game. That's just how I have it set up in the editor. That's another reason why I decided not to build the game, so that we can just kind of cheat around until I put commands in. So now, you'll notice that we can buy all the gags we want, but they are more expensive. So, we'll choose a couple cream pies. They say, Clara gives her little dialogue for that. And notice they subtracted 2 jelly beans each. So let's pick up that. Eventually, I do want to have like a little furnace out of the corner and have them pop out of a furnace when they're done being cooked or something, just because that'd be much cooler. But for now, they just kind of drop out of the sky and materialize out of nowhere. So let's buy 2 safes because they're rather powerful. And now notice we have 0 jelly beans. So hopefully this will be enough to take out the bean counter over there. And there's a big cheese, which we will cheat to fight him. So let's try to take out this guy. We'll start off with the safes. Notice he gives a dialogue, starts attacking us with rotten jelly beans. Aim that right. Yeah, got him. Of course, there's no real animations yet, so it looks a little corny. We've only got 9 life points. There we go. And now a ridiculous amount of smoke spawns. And let's pick up the skill points he dropped. And now our skill increased by a couple, which is cool. So you see how we had 45 before we reached 50, so now we have 6 skill points. Let's pick up some ice cream to improve our laugh. But the big cheese, well, he is a little more tough than other cogs. Actually, I haven't actually increased his overall health at all, so he's actually not that much stronger. So I think we will do okay. Let's throw some pies at him. Of course, he looks a little corny right now, if that's the right word. And, of course, there's no way to see their health as of yet. However, I do want to show their health on that sort of little red light that they have on their chest. But, of course, that's not done yet, so it's not there. And as you see here, I have some sort of like a prototype particle system for a little waterfall. Something maybe that you'd see in the gardens. Not sure yet. And here we have a very early concept for a hot air balloon, which I clicked the mount button, and now we can take off. Very sticky air balloony controls. Not good for close range, but they are good if you're going large distances at once. Like I showed you guys in one of the older videos that I created with the open world, this would probably fit in very nicely in that open world, which I'm going to keep that same idea. So before we crash, let's unmount. Oh, and we just glitched, which is great. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video, and now I'm going to get into some more serious things on why I haven't actually been here for all this time. So, a couple weeks ago, probably around July 20th, when I said I would maybe put out some version of the game, very ambitious, I started to lose motivation for the project while working on the tutorial that I was talking about earlier. Multiple things were going wrong, and I was confronted with several development issues that I'm not going to get into in this video. So I decided to take a break for a few weeks because of that lack of motivation, and decided to work on several personal virtual reality projects for my family and for my own entertainment. However, after really thinking about all the people who are interested in the project, I finally came back with some renewed motivation, probably a couple days ago. Also, for those who are wondering about why it's taking me so long to implement all the features I've been talking about, and why, up until now, I haven't really shown cogs or gags, well, probably about 4 times now, I started a clean slate on a new Unity project with the same idea in mind, of course. The first and most simplistic one, was known to me by Toontown Phase 15, which dates many months back towards probably my second video on this channel. People really liked that, and so I decided to keep going. Anyway, it had a very simple first-person movement script, as well as some simple buildings and playgrounds. The next project I called Toontown Port, which at this point I was further along, and remember, I was learning this as I was going along, so each project, that's probably why you've noticed each one looking better than the last, because I'm learning this as I'm going along. So that's another reason why I decided to keep wiping the progress, because each time I knew more and more and didn't feel like fixing all of my old inconsistent scripts. Like, back then, I was so newbie with scripting. I mean, not that I'm advanced with scripting now, but I would mix JavaScript and C# scripts, if that makes any sense. I would have them both in the same project, which, I don't know, that wasn't good, and it was a little confusing for me, too, because I didn't know what I wanted to learn. As you can see, I finally settled on C# scripts. So, anyway, the next thing that I did after that, when I got a little, again, loss of motivation for that project, of course, the Toontown Port was the one that you saw in Cellbot HQ, if you remember that. That's like one of the main views that focused on the Toontown Port. The next project I was working on was known to me as Toontown 2 Alpha, which you saw in the previous video. It focused more on multiplayer-oriented things, which also, all of these projects taught me something, and that helped me learn more about the multiplayer side of the game. So this project that you just saw is the most advanced yet, which I'm calling Downtown Toontown. And by the way, that's the new name of the whole project. So this project, while the other one focused on the multiplayer side of things, this one I've been working on all of like the core mechanics of the game, i.e. the skill point system, laugh points, all of the gags and the cogs, because I feel like that's more important than any multiplayer or the how the playground looks or any of that. So yeah, that's what I've been working on now. If I do lose motivation again and feel like wiping the project before I can get a full playable Downtown Toontown out to you guys, I'll just make it an open source for everyone to modify and play around with. I probably wouldn't have come this far with the project if it weren't for you guys. Your support has been amazing, pushing me further on this project than I've ever gone on any project that I've done before, whether it be Toontown or Half-Life 2, or maybe even my own ideas, because nobody's ever liked it like people have liked this project. Again, thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, if you like the video, hit that like button because it really helps. And links to all of my supporters' Google Plus pages in the description, because they make a lot of awesome art and all kinds of things that you guys should definitely check out.